Let me go to my Instagram to show you what I just posted, because today is actually, right now, this past hour, it is now my daughter's birthday. So yes, Asha is 5 years old. And this is the first photo I'm gonna post. It's gonna be for tonight, but so if you wanna go on Instagram and put a happy birthday, you can do that. Yeah, she's 5 now. That's crazy. Let me go to her Instagram. Look at her now. She's so big. Can't believe that. Yeah, a baby girl is 5 years old. She doesn't even look 5. She looks 7. But yeah, it's it has been nothing short of joy to be her father. There's something about having a boy, but having a daughter is something that is out of this world. So everybody, put me some birthday cakes in the chat for La Milliardaire, and also for my baby girl Asha. As I was posting photos of her, I was reliving all the moments of these past 5 years. The moment where she got Kawasaki syndrome and she was at the hospital for a week, and I was crying every day. As I was watching those photos, I was like, wow, the videos of me not being able, because of COVID time, not being able to be at the hospital, and just being there outside the window, down there, and her being happy to see me come there 3 times a day. And then even, like, she was born in this neighborhood, she was born in this hospital. So I was remembering 5 years ago. I was even remembering like 6 years ago when I told my wife I would love to have a baby with you, and how like it was emotional for her too, the fact that it was the first time that somebody ever asked her that. And even me, just like after all these years of not wanting to have a kid, because just moving too much in the world, and just being rolling all around the world, and being too busy with my music and my businesses, I didn't want to relieve the fact of having a baby without being there to live every step of the way this time. So being a little more comfortable and in a different life setting. And it was like, especially with a girl, like I really want her to know that she has a father figure that is supporting her like her whole life, and that might not agree with her on everything, of course, but will always give her my support, whatever the thing, and always give her my love even when we disagree. And yeah, I remember, when they told me, like, I wanted a girl, and I remember when the doctor said like 96% chance it's gonna be a girl. I was like I start crying every day, like, in my whole world, it's like that feeling that I feel today of love. I started feeling it at that moment, like, of the role that you have when you have a boy is a role of protection, of course, is a role of guidance. And of course, when Ilian was a baby, it was the same emotion of, oh my God, I'm gonna have a baby, etc. But there was a lot of, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Like, I don't have money. How are we gonna do? How are we gonna buy milk? Those were like all the questions that were going through my mind at the same time, because it was more a surprise at that time in 2003, whereas soon as Ilian was born, it was when I released On the Quoi in 2003. Like, I think it was released a few months after it was born, and I went from what am I gonna do? I'm like, I was not a struggling artist, but I was living from show to show. To I have a hit song that is like the biggest song in Africa back in the days at that time. So all of a sudden, I was just traveling to Ivory Coast, to Congo, to Benin, to Gabon, to Senegal, and then all around France, Belgium, and then it was the US. Like, all of a sudden I was performing like 2 to 3 times a week, and sometimes 2 times the same night. And now I was making way more money than I needed. So I could not only pay my, I didn't have a rent in Paris. I was in one of my mother's apartment, but in Belgium I was paying my rent because the mother of my son lives at that time, she used to live in Brussels. So I took an apartment with her in Brussels, and I was just back and forth between studio time and touring during the week, and on the weekends I would be in Brussels. But it was not the same thing. You discovering something, because you are building yourself as a person. You are building yourself as a man. You are still learning who you are, what do you want, all these things. So you're still not there yet. And I remember that when my son got 10 in 2013, I said to myself, I don't want to leave this. Like, I don't want to spend every weekend seeing a boy being brokenhearted because I have to leave. And I could see in his eyes every time I would take the train, like, it was not enough. You leaving already? And he was even not talking at that time. So it was traumatic for him. It was traumatic for him. He turned out to be a great kid, a great man. Even now he's 19. But I said to myself, nah, I don't want to live this until I'm stable, I settle down. So when I met my wife 9 years ago, and at a point I was like, yeah, listen, life is good now. I live in a great place. I live in the best neighborhood in Lisbon. I pay my rent once a year. I have the possibility to do that through all the work I did, all the sacrifices that I did all the last 20 years. So because I live from my catalog, I don't live under the pressure that a lot of artists do. And I live very comfortably, I would say. I feel very lucky, because even when I had COVID and I was like, am I gonna see the next day? I still had money coming in every day. So I was like, damn, now that I'm rich, I'm gonna die. So it's when I arrived to this point in my life, that's when I said, yeah, I want a baby, and this time I want to do it right or different. No, right. You have to own the sacrifices that you did. And I said to myself, I want to do it right. I would love to have a girl, but even if it's a boy, I want to see everything. I want to see him walk for the first time. I don't want to receive photos when they walk for the first time, or they stand for the first time, or whatever they do for the first time. Like, you don't want to be on the other side of the world for a month on tour and then discovering all these things. I want to see those things. I want to take her to school or him to school, like, every day in the morning. I want to all this. I want to change the diapers, like all that stuff. And so when they told me it was a girl, yo, like, it made the mission completely different, because then I felt also everything it is to be a woman in this world, and everything you have to shield her from, and everything you're gonna have to teach her from guys like yourself, like all these things, and all these things that you have to accept that are gonna happen. Oh, like, yeah, somebody gonna break her heart one day. You cannot like believe that it's gonna happen. It's like it will happen, and you're gonna have to be there, and to have the right words at that moment, to be the rock at that moment. And you have to remember that you broke some hearts, and you got your heart broken too. But you're gonna have to understand, like, yeah, one day she's gonna bring some guy at home, and you're gonna be like, you're gonna have to call all your gangster friends and be like, and scare that guy. So you don't know what her taste will be, because my daughter is she's Russian, she's Congolese, she's Guinea-Bissau, she's Portuguese, she's all this at the same time. Her grandma is blonde with blue eyes, and my mother, she's a light skin, half Portuguese, half Congolese, and my father is Congolese, and her grandfather is from Guinea-Bissau, and so I don't even know what are gonna be her taste. Like, sometimes because I'm a guy with vision. So a guy like with vision thinks and feels and have conversation in his head about things that's gonna happen in 10, 15 years, 20 years. I don't live in the present. In the present, I'm just executing stuff. I'm just executing ideas that I have that I need to execute for what I'm gonna do in 5 years, 10 years. But it's the same thing for my children. Of course, I'm living and I'm enjoying every minute with her, but I'm sometimes I'm thinking of, when she's 14, 15, 16, and she brings me the first boyfriend or second, I don't know, like, and are we gonna have like virtual reality at that time, a metaverse? Like, where are we gonna be like in 10, 15 years? So in that future, how are our children going to live, and what kind of guy she will like? Is she gonna like guys like me, like singers, or is she gonna be into mathematicians, white guys, Spanish guys, Asian guys, black guys, brown guys, Australians? I don't know. Like, you see what I mean? Oh, girls. Maybe she said, Dad, I always felt like I was a guy trapped in a woman's body. I'm gonna be like, yo, let's sit down and talk about it. Like, you see what I mean? Is to be a father, and it's not something I discovered with having a daughter, but to be a father, and everybody who have kids here know what I'm talking about. To be a father is realizing that there's so many things that you cannot control. There's so many things that all you can do is give guidance, explain the world to your children, explain to them right from wrong in your opinion, and they will do the rest. They will do the rest because at a point they will have to make their own choices. You will make the choices for them until a certain point, and you will influence them into what is good, what is right, what you have to do or not. But at a certain point where they reach 12, 13, 14, they will start to be influenced by outside influences. Aunts, moms, friends, school, the internet. So you're gonna have to work on, especially in this world where, in the world where I grew up, I was looking for acceptance from the hip hop community, from the singers, the rappers, from my parents, and that's it. In the world of today, this generation is looking for acceptance and recognition from strangers on the internet. So your job as a parent is not just to give them the tools and to educate them and to give them the possibility to study in great places. Your goal as a parent, your role as a parent is also to insufflate in them self-esteem. So much self-esteem, so much idea that they are good people. They are on that level that they will not let the internet make them believe that they are not what they are.